Oh, hey there. Didn't see ya. Just working on my Camaro. No, but seriously guys, got another video on the Camaro. I'm just kind of working away on the rear axles here. Let me show you why. So if you guys were around for the last video, you remember that I finished up the big brake project on my 69 Camaro. I got big C6 Z06 calipers on this thing. Got it back on the ground only to realize that my old wheels now are not gonna work. I cannot turn this thing. Absolutely no clearance to do any sort of turning or really hit any bumps. So the car is basically undrivable. So I did the logical thing, went out and bought some C6 Corvette wheels that also don't fit. So now I have two sets of wheels that do not fit the car and don't allow me to drive it. Plus the set of wheels on order that I've ordered back in March that are still not here that may or may not fit. So I'm thousands of dollars into wheels in this car right now and I still can't drive it. Follow me for more financial advice. But seriously guys, that's what I'm working on right now. I ordered some parts just like I said I would to get this thing driving with the C6 Corvette wheels that I scored for cheap. The parts for the front are still on the way. They should be here tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm working on the rear, so let me show you what I'm doing. So if you guys remember back here, what happened was you bolted the C6 wheel up, and because the offset was so positive, the inner part of the tire and the wheel was hitting on the inner fender here. This is 69 Camaro's not mini tub, so most people say the biggest wheel you can run is a 9.5. That wheel's a 10, but it seems like it's gonna fit, but basically the wheel face needed to come way out. So I had some wheel spacers sitting around. None of them were big enough. None of them were the right size. So what did I do? I went and bought some massive wheel spacers. Now these aren't just any wheel spacers. These are what you call hub centric, meaning they are centered around the hub, which means this inner diameter of this is the exact same bore as the outer diameter here, which means it will be perfectly centered and tight once it's installed. You hear that? That thing is perfectly centered on the axle, and then it's, you know, got its own lugs there, and then the wheel will bolt to this. So most people know this is basically the strongest version and the safest version of any sort of wheel space you're gonna get. These ones are made by Titan Motorsports. It's T6061 aluminum, grade 12.9 studs, you know, really solid wheel spacer. Is this the ideal way of doing it? A 2.5 chunk of aluminum to space my wheel out? No. Have plenty of other guys done this and far worse in the past and been just fine? Yep, absolutely. You know, there's plenty of YouTubers out there that have stacked up 17 of these to get the wheels literally feet outside the fender and taken their trucks off jumps and been just fine. So are these gonna get me around town, cruise around till my properly fitting wheels hopefully come in, if ever? Yeah, probably gonna be just fine. Anyways, I figured while I was in there, because we now have the added stress of a 2.5 inch wheel spacer on these studs, even though most of the weight and support is going to be on the hub itself, which is why it's important to get those, I figured it'd be a good time to upgrade the studs. So I got a set of Moroso studs. I just pressed in this first one using a lug actually, and I think the reason it went in so easily is because I got the other 9 up in the freezer. So freezing them obviously shrinks the material a little bit, allows it to pull through here a little bit easier. I was able to do it just with one lug and then a washer, so no problems. I don't know what brand these were that came out. They're obviously, you know, in great shape, but I don't know what they are. The Moroso studs are, you know, a racing high grade steel. I feel more comfortable with those, especially with a wheel spacer, or if we're just going to be beating the hell out of the car, probably good to upgrade the rear studs. It's actually the exact same part number I did on the front for the exact same reason. So got 1 down, got 4 left to do on this side, then 5 to do on that side. Then we can bolt these wheel spacers up and holy crap, see if my C6 wheels are gonna fit on this thing. So let's run back and forth from the freezer, pull these studs in, test fit the wheel, and see if we can't knock out the rear at least. Still nervous about the front, but let's see if we can't fit 2 C6 Corvette wheels in this thing. Let's get to work. Rears are on. 19 by 10s, 285. Got clearance there. And you guys will be able to see barely. Maybe not. Oof, that is really close. That is what you call cutting it close, boys and girls. You got about 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch of clearance on the inner tub. But clearance is clearance. Calling it good. It's actually better on the other side, but we do have clearance all around. 285s on a stock tub Camaro. Haven't driven it yet, but so far they fit. For some reason, the 285s look way meatier than the 275s did. Like significantly. I don't know if you'll be able to tell on camera. Probably not, but Arby's, we got the meats. I mean, these are all seasons, but still, like I said, looks beefy, boys. So yeah, a mere 2.5 inch wheel spacer has solved our issue on the rear. The rears are done. Now comes the hard part, fronts. If you remember from the last video, we had problems hitting the steering arm or the tie rod ends on the fronts, and that's why the wheels wouldn't fit there. But I just got a box off the FedEx truck like 10 minutes ago that I think is gonna help us fix that, I hope. And boom, here it is, the RideTech True Turn system. So basically this is gonna replace the steering arms and the center link that connects the two. And I'll explain more once I get the car in the air. There's 2 areas of fitment that I'm kind of concerned about that are really common in the LS swap first gen world. The first one is the oil pan. A lot of guys say that the center link does not clear their oil pan, whether it's the Holley -2, -3, or -1 pan. I don't even know which one I have. I think it's the -3. Some guys say it fits, some guys say it doesn't. The other thing is the headers. I have Speed Engineering headers. Most guys are running Holley headers. They say they don't fit with, or do fit with the Holley, but not ARH. You know, there's just so many different combinations that there's not like a definitive, yes, it will fit. RideTech says it should fit, but we'll see. But anyways, let's get this thing unboxed and you know, see what it looks like. Got the True Turn system unboxed. So basically it's 2 steering arms, a center link, some outer tie rods, and then some tie rod adjusters. So it should be a pretty simple kit. But before we get to installation, let me show you guys what the stock system looks like and some of my concerns as to fitment. So let me get you guys under there and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Well, before you guys ask, yeah, I do have the lift over there, but I was just too lazy to shuffle cars, so we're doing it the old-fashioned way, jack and jack stands. Here's the stock steering system on the 69 or first-gen Camaros. Basically, you've got your steering arm or pitman arm that is attached to the center link, which is also joined with a similar arm over here that's just kind of an idler, I guess. So this arm kind of swings back and forth, which is connected to both sides. Inner tie rods, which then moves the outer tie rod, which is connected to the steering arm, which is what's actually going to turn the wheels and steer the car. So if you remember, the problem we ran into with the other wheels was they come in here and they hit on this outer tie rod or ball joint right there. So I believe what the kit does is it moves this ball joint up, which would allow the ball joint or tie rod to tuck into the wheel and allow the wheel to come in farther, therefore allowing you to fit a larger wheel and tire. It's also supposed to improve bump steer and, you know, improve suspension geometry and science and stuff. Anyways, my 2 fitment concerns are this center link everyone seems to complain about, that it either hits the oil pan in this area right here, or it hits, or the new tie rods will hit your headers on either sides here. Like I said, there's really no information as to this specific setup that I have with these headers and these motor mounts and this knockoff Holley oil pan. So we're just gonna find out, but that's the problem. That's my proposed solution. I guess all we have to do is basically start unbolting these steering arms and tie rods and center link and see if we can't get those new parts in, and with any luck, they will fit without hitting any of this stuff. So let's get to work. Next day, I got updates. Check it out. So does it fit? Yes and no. So I think I showed some B-roll footage there. Basically, this thing fits pretty well. Better, I guess better than I was expecting. A lot of guys say that it won't even bolt into place depending on which oil pan you have. Mine bolts into place fine. I can't do it with one hand, but basically I have almost all of my steering. But as this arm gets to the end of its travel, you know, basically right before full lock, the bar hits the oil pan just barely right here, and then obviously same thing going the other way on this side. So I don't have full lock-to-lock steering, but I've got almost all of it. Honestly, for now, I'm gonna run it. I just wanna get this car on the road, and I can't remember the last time I went full lock-to-lock. I've got a Super Duty with 12-inch wide wheels and 35-inch mud tires that I run in the summer. And I can barely turn that thing at all in the parking lots. Doesn't bother me. So I can deal for now with a little bit of limited steering on the very ends. Like I said, I really don't think it's going to affect me that much. Other than that, I think we're good here. We just barely clear the header with this tie rod. Same thing on the other side. And just to be safe, I think I'm going to put a tiny little dent in these Speed Engineering headers. It is dirty under here. I drove through a puddle a few weeks ago. I got to clean all this crap off of here. But anyway, it's going to put a tiny little clearance dent. Just heat it up, hit it with a pipe real quick. Put a tiny little clearance dent in this primary. Same thing on this side, just to be sure we've got clearance on the headers. Like I said, they're Speed Engineering headers. They were like $200 or something like that. And I think there was a episode of Engine Masters like 5 years ago where they dented the absolute crap out of some headers and it made the exact same power. So really not worried about putting a tiny little dent in those. You'll never be able to see it, and I'll feel better about it. So other than those two kind of minor clearance issues, I think we're good. I'm going to keep researching oil pans or potential other solutions for down the road if I want to get full lock-to-lock steering. But holy crap, I just want to get this car on the road right now. So I'm going to finish bolting this all together. Let's hopefully get those wheels on and see if everything fits and see how everything works out. Back to work. All right. Gonna heat her up a little bit and gently massage her into place. Gentle. Nice and gentle. That ought to work. Beautiful, isn't it? Nothing like big brakes and Ride Tech suspension in the morning. Next day here, guys, I got the Ride Tech True Turn system completely installed last night. Got everything bolted back up, and damn it, I can't believe I'm saying this. I think this is gonna work. Really hope I didn't just jinx myself right there, but I think it's gonna work. So under here, we can see the center link, inner tie rods, tie rod adjuster. You get a Heim joint for your outer tie rod. Basically, super nice setup. You know, Ride Tech printed on. These are like machined aluminum adjusters, nice Heim joints, all stainless hardware. Looks really good. All done, all torqued, Loctited, castle nutted, cotter pinned, you name it. And, you ready for this? Boom. Look at this. We have a fitting C6 Corvette wheel, brake clearance, tie rod clearance, tons of tie rod clearance, and look how tucked in the wheel well it is. Gonna be able to slam this thing if we want to. And on another note, I think that our pan clearance, at least for the time being in this set of wheels, is a non-issue, because watch this. If I turn the wheel, so that's full lock, because the tire is hitting the frame before the center bar runs into the oil pan. So guess that's a non-issue, but still pretty darn good amount of steering angle. And as you can tell by the frame already, if I pull this back out, looks like the other tire's rubbed a little bit too. So we're in good shape here. Overall, I think this Ride Tech True Turn system is going to be worth the money, not only for these wheels, but also for my other wheels, which, after all this work, I just got a shipping notification yesterday. So we might only get to enjoy these C6 Corvette wheels for a week or two, but I'm still not mad. That being said, I want to get these wheels bolted up on the car, get it on the ground, and holy crap, maybe even take it for a drive, but you know I can't bolt them up all dirty like that. So let's get them cleaned up, get them on the car. minus the dirt and dust and filth, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Not bad for some OEM C6 wheels. Got the wheels completely cleaned up. Man, what a transformation, just with a little bit of wheel cleaner and some elbow grease. These things, just like I said, underneath that dust and dirt are mint. Inside, outside, I mean, even the barrels are immaculate. Just a really super clean set of OEM GM Speedline wheels. Honestly, digging the look. You can't beat a clean 5-spoke design. Whether it's that car, this car, or even a split 5-spoke design. You just can't go wrong with 5-spoke design. Looks sweet. Well, I'm absolutely itching to get this thing out on the road, but I don't think I can do it when it's this dirty. My heart just won't let me do it. So I'm gonna back this thing out, give it a really quick wash, and then with any luck, maybe we can get this thing on the road and take it for a drive. Back there. All right, let's get her cleaned up. The next day, actually ran out of light yesterday and had some other stuff to do, and I'm about to run out of light again, but got this thing washed up. Looks awesome. Really like how the wheels look for a temporary set of wheels. So now let's see if they fit. Let's see if we can get this thing to drive without, you know, ripping fenders off or anything. So I'm just gonna take it down the road right here, see if we can hear anything, see if these brakes work, see what happens. Stuff's rubbing. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear that on camera, but on certain bumps, are definitely rubbing. Passenger, rear. It was really close back there. Damn it. Dang it, dang it. Good news is, if it's rubbing, I can't hear it over the exhaust. Oh, but it sounds all right on smooth roads right now. We on fire? Tires burning up? Not yet, anyways. Over bumps, not so good. Just ease her around here. Brakes work, so that's good. radius is actually pretty good. So, you know, I was worried about the front not fitting, and it turns out we got a problem in the back. Go figure. Oh, I'm getting flash from my headlights. Yeah, thank you. You hear that? She's rubbing.
That thing's sick, bro.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Be a whole lot sicker if the tires didn't rub. Well, the good news is steering wheel's nice and straight. I don't feel any horrible vibrations, but the bad news is it smells like we're burning rubber, so definitely still rubbing on bumps. Abort mission. Back home. Maybe it'll self-clearance. Definitely rubbing on this passenger rear. I think on the inner tub, it was really close on that side. Really close on both sides, but if the rear's not perfectly centered, it's rubbing just on bumps and driveways and inclines when the rear end kind of tilts. Sure is a nice night though. Even if we only went down the road, it's good to be driving this thing again, man. Clearance up front though. Look at that. Whew. Maybe I should have set the e-brake. Oh there, Nelly. Hey. There's some more of the original competition orange paint. Well, there's a problem. Wheel is rubbing on bumps and stuff when the axle comes up on the inner tub here. Once again, this is why people always tub the first gen or mini tub the first gen Camaros. You basically go to the frame rail here, which gets you an extra like 2 to 3 inches of tire clearance in here. You know, cars in the 60s just came with like, you know, 215 wide tires or 225s. There just wasn't any need to have any more room than this because all the cars have like 300 horsepower. That's why all the old timers always talking about, yeah, that thing would roast through 3 gears. It's like, yeah, it made 170 horsepower and had a 165 wide bias ply. Sure, that's why. But yeah, we're rubbing. See if we can see it on the inside. Not too bad. It's probably literally just this one edge right here with the rim guard. I think a lot of tire manufacturers install these or put these on the tire just to protect the rim. Oh, well, actually a little bit right there. The wheel fitment debacle continues. Just can't seem to win with this car right now, but let's look at the positives. One, the wheels look sick. I mean, for a simple 5-spoke design, just a really base, C6 Corvette wheel, I think they really work on this car. And I mean, wheel opinions, everyone's got their own. There's probably some people that don't like these wheels. I know in the comments there's plenty of people that like the old ones, but I didn't. I think these things look sweet. Like I said, just a clean 5-spoke design. Look at the tuck we got in front now. I could slam this thing down on the ground, and that's probably what I'm gonna do when I get wheels that fit completely properly. In the back, man, it looks sick with that 285, and I just wish we could space it out just like another ½ inch. Or if we did mini tubs on this car, those wheels would fit perfectly. If this car had a mini tub, we would be driving right now on C6 wheels, no problems. The Ride Tech True Turn solved all our issues in the front, and we could even go a little smaller on the spacer in the rear with a mini tub, but not quite there yet. Just haven't done it to this car. It's on the list, but for now, like I said, I just want to get it driving. But again, let's look at the positives. Ride Tech True Turn seems to be working awesome. I have tons of turning in both directions. I haven't really got to feel out, whether it's improved bump steer or anything, but it's a beautiful kit. And now, when my correct wheels show up, I was gonna have to run like a 225 or a 235 in the front. But now that I've got this kit and I've got all that room against the tie rod, I can definitely pick up like a, 255, 265, even a 275 according to Ride Tech. So huge win there. So now I know I can fit bigger wheels and tires in the front, improve suspension geometry. Also, as I mentioned in the past video, I got a great deal on these wheels. Paid $500 for these wheels and basically brand new tires. Gave them a good cleaning. I'm confident that they're now worth, easily $1,000 for the wheels here. So, gonna come out financially ahead on these wheels. Actually, I already sold my old ones, so those are gone. Got good money for those. Even though the car still isn't, I wouldn't take it on a road trip. It's more drivable than the last video, and I think we're heading in the right direction. Even though it seems like we're in the same spot, front suspension is in a much better position for my wheels that are coming. And the only reason I picked these wheels up was because I thought that my new wheels were never gonna show up. I thought it was gonna be like late September, October, whatever, and I didn't wanna miss those months. But like I said, I just got an update on the tracking number. They're showing up tomorrow. So now I'm not so upset that these don't fit as well as I wanted them to, because my correct wheels that I ordered in March are gonna be here tomorrow. So can't wait to get those on there. Now I think I have the front suspension to handle it, and I know, hopefully, fingers crossed, that I can just bolt them on and we won't have any more problems. That's gonna do it for this one, guys. Like I said, my wheels will be here tomorrow. Start a new video unboxing those, and we will definitely have the car on the road. Hopefully like alignment, mounting the wheels and tires. I think I'm gonna charge the AC in this thing. Whole bunch of other little stuff planned for it. We are gonna be ripping this thing all fall, and I'm so excited. So thank you guys as always for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. We really appreciate each and every one of you guys. And leave your comments and thoughts down below. Catch you in the next one.